Hey friends, welcome back. In this video, we'll look at how to manage environment variables using edge functions. So instead of storing our environment variables on the client side, um, which is our Flutter app, we want to be able to store them in Supabase and then we access them using edge functions. Great. So I have an app here we can have a look at. So the first thing we're going to do, I think would be best is to look at the Supabase dashboard. Inside here, this is where we create our functions, and I already have one function here that will perform whatever we need. But before we go to the logic, we have a section here called secrets. This is where we manage our secrets, where we store our various secrets or environmental keys and their values. Okay, so I've created one that's called my secret key, and it has its value and it's stored in form of it's hashed using the SHA-256, encrypted using the SHA-256, so it's not plain text. So you enter your key here, whichever key you have, and then you enter your value, and then it's stored that way. So this is a place where you enter all your environment variables, and then now we head over to the function section. We create a new function. I already have one called the quick task, and when at the code, we'll proceed to review the code that I have. So what it does is, first, this line of code, what it does, it imports type definition for Superbase's Edge runtime APIs. So it provides some form of auto completion. So let's ignore that. We'll also ignore this part. This is just a simple message that we're logging to show where the function starts. Now let's go to the main part where we create and start the HTTP server using the Deno's native serve function. And then we'll proceed to retrieve our environment variables. We'll retrieve them using the edge runtime. So we say deno.env get, and we call out the specific key. So in this case, I'm calling the same key 3 times and assigning it to 3 different variables just to show you how to access multiple environment variables. But in best case, you need to have set these keys based on different referring to different variables, obviously. So we have 3 variables and they are going to return the same value because we're calling the same key. Okay, now we're going to combine all these secrets or all these variables into one single object that we're calling secrets, and then that's the one that we're going to pass to the response. So we have our secrets holds all our environment variables, and then we're passing it to our response. So it will return secrets as a JSON response. It's as simple as that, guys. So once we have this, let's head over to our Flutter side. So this is just the main function, and it comes with the default main app class. So this is our new class that I created, the environment variables. And what I've done is I've defined a simple object of type map called secrets. And then we have a variable of type bool. This is just for UI trigger to change the state. We'll get to see that. Now we have our function. This is the main logic that we need. So if you look, you'll find that we are going to use the HTTP package to call a post. We're going to call the URL, our specific edge function, and to get this, you proceed to back to our dashboard. Just head over to details and it will provide for you the endpoint URL that you need to use. Great. And then the next thing we do is we're just doing the regular HTTP request. In our headers for the authorization, we need to pass in our anon key. That's what we need to pass. So this anon key, we need to set it. You can also use flutter.env package to be able to store this anon key. And once we have done this, we'll proceed to now wait for the result, which will be set in this data variable. And then we are going to initiate our secrets object, which we had set at the top, and define it with all the data that we have received. And now it's a matter of displaying it. That's a simple way of actually interacting with Edge, Supabase Edge functions. You have your endpoint URL, you pass in your unknown key in the headers, and then now once we receive the data we passed in a JSON object, which we have assigned to our local variable, and we need to display it to see if we've actually received uh, the variables or the secrets that we had saved in Supabase. As you can see, we're able to display our secrets or environment variables in a list view builder. So what the UI does is we have a circular progress indicator, and it's being managed by this variable that we set is loading. So if we want it to load, we manage with that variable. That's all it does. And we just have our up bar, and then now we're checking if the secrets is empty, we should be able to say no environment variables found. Else if they're there, we're able to display them. But the displaying is just for us to see if we can access our environment variables. But in real sense, this should be set private within the application and utilized within the application and not displayed publicly on the app, right? Great. So that's the simple way of how to manage environment variables using Supabase in Flutter.